Hello, welcome to a video where I'm going to showcase some Lucario teams. I've made another graphic with teams just for Lucario in case you just got a new one and you want to try it out in this cup. So here you see the teams with some of the content creators and players that contributed to this. I think Lucario is even going to be better in Fossil Cup, which is going to be next week, but now we have Fantasy Cup, where it also has some good play. If you want to see the full graph, you can find this on my X profile, which I will link in the video. The first team that I'll be trying out is from Zoe Tudals, and I'm pretty sure she picked the Dedenne because, like, one of her favorite Pokemon, but I actually see legit play for it, having good play into Azumarill, into Dragon-type Pokemon, and into Fighting-type Pokemon. So I'm going to try that out. It pulls shields quite easily. That sets up Azumarill with Hydro Pump quite well, and if I don't want to pull shields, I'll keep them up for Lucario. Let's see how this is going to go. Dedenne into Flygon. This is a hard losing matchup. Don't ask me why I'm staying in, because at the time I wasn't exactly sure how I want to play this out. I guess I want to pull shields and then try to catch an Azumarill. But you lose this in every shield scenario as the Dedenne. The reason why, you're fragile, but not as fragile as them, so you lose charge security. And even if you bait twice, and if they go straight Scorching Sense, you will still get outpaced, because you will get there at the same moment. But they catch you instead, which I don't mind too much. This means that my Azumarill's free from this, and I can realign. I'm gonna bring in my Lucario. Force Palm does so much damage, this Berserker doesn't even get to a charge attack. So, fantastic for me. They come back in with Lucario. This could be a Scorching Sense. I'm gonna shield it up. It is a Dragon Claw, unfortunately, but I have quite some energy. Gonna go for a Power Punch. If there's a Shadow Ball, would knock out, so if they're weak to Lucario in the back, they gotta shield this one up. And then they do. I want to throw another Power Punch, but unfortunate. Even Power Punch does good damage as Lucario. Gonna go to Azumarill. I would reckon that they have a better Azumarill answer in the back, but also a better Dedenne answer in the back, right? Because why else would you catch unless you try to bait something out? Maybe they try to bait out a fire type or something. So I'm gonna throw Jet. I expect them to swap, but they don't. And I throw here because I was afraid they would try to catch, which I don't want, of course. Let's see what's in the back. In the back is... oh, that's a Scissor. That's actually very dangerous because this learns Iron Head and Trailblaze. I'm gonna make a catch here, which I don't even know this will help me, because if they undercharge, I still lose. Let's see. Bullet Punch is perfective. That's why it does so much to get the perfect farm down. I barely don't get to the discharge. I would have knocked out. Gonna go for Play Rough. I have used Scissor a lot in the past, especially in Halloween Cup, and I know how fragile it is. They barely don't get to that attack because Play Rough resisted. Still does so much. Dedenne into Alone and Sandslash, but this is a regular one. That's kind of unfortunate, because all I want to do here is throw a discharge and get out. I don't, my Azumarill's not great either, but like with this chip damage, I can actually make this super annoying for them. I assume they have their own Azumarill in the back, and I assume that if they throw their attack here, that they will switch out. And then my third assumption is that their third Pokemon is weak into my Azumarill. There we go. There's the first prediction coming true here. So this is perfect. Lucario's free from this now. I need whatever's in the back to be kind of weak to Lucario, though, because if it's not, if it's like a Giratina, I'm basically toast, right? So that's going to be tough. Two-player will likely knock me out here, so also not super great, but manageable. Manageable. My Dedenne is very healthy, so it can take at least a Play Rough. Let's see. Play Rough coming through. And they'll likely throw right before me. I kind of want to catch, but also, do I really need Azumarill after this? Maybe one of a player would have been nice into their potential Flygon, maybe. Let's see. And I even forgot their line. So at this point of talking, I have legit no idea anymore what they had in the back. Usually I always think of like Manting or something. They hard swap into Alone Sandslash. They lose charge security to me, so great. They actually could have thrown the Ice Punch melee because they had it loaded and let it go. I kind of hate that, because I assume that the last Pokemon is not weak to Lucario. Unless I can two-shield force, that'd be great. In the back is Tapu Fini. I can pull a shield here. So they have double Water Fairy. Okay, that's not what I expected exactly. Gonna go into Lucario. I have a shield down now, so I can go for double Thunder Punch. I actually bait here, which is the dumbest play ever. I didn't need to do this at all, and they actually no-shield. They punished me for it. So, obviously, for the video, I want to show that you should not do this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, it was not like me misplaying at all. No, I don't misplay. No. Let's see if I can still win this. They just win this going straight serve at this point, but they tried to catch, and it's actually not a great play by them, because they get the full farm down just perfectly, coming out with 2 Thunder Punch. So just a throw fest, and I guess I am not as good as throwing as they are. I guess maybe they didn't expect me to be able to force palm them down after a Thunder Punch, a Power Punch. So obviously the Power Punch won me that battle, not a misplay. No, they did more damage on Azumarill. Yep. In game number 3, Dedenne into Giratina, which is an annoying matchup. They win the 2 shields straight on this wins. I need some baits to win this with shields up, but I do outpace the first player off if they try to get shield ball off. I'm going to go for the player off. Let's just see what happens. Okay, that's fine with me. We have a baller. There's absolute zero reason to no-shoot that. That's even worse than my power-up punch. But okay, you do you. Anyway, it's not over yet. But it's looking very, very good for me now. The Dedenne resists Focus Blast and Zap Cannon. Flash Cannon not so much, but I don't expect them to have that. I'm afraid they get a lock on down here, which I would kind of be annoyed by. So I'm going to swap out immediately. I got debuffed as well. In the back is their own Lucario. Yeah, this is kind of over because I get to my attack first. Somehow they sneak one here. They shouldn't be able to, unless they were behind that much. I don't think they were. The Power Punch pulls a shield, puts them solo. Gonna go to Azumarill. I think they hardly have a charge stack at this point. If they do, then it is a Thunder Punch, but it would do less than a Zap Cannon, so that's okay. Thunder Punch does deceivingly a lot to Azumarill. Does like 35% or something. With Force Bombs, I think 2 might actually almost be enough, and then my opponent top lefts. The thing is, even though Rage Steel's pretty good there, they were almost in range for 1 attack, and then I could also reach an attack on the Dedenne, so there was no play for them. The next battle, the Dedenne into Whimsicott. This is a massive core breaker, and probably just a matchup you don't, a whole game you don't win. So the problem here is my Dedenne is not super good, which means that I won't live a Moonblast with Fairy Wings very comfortably. They actually shoot my first player off, which is super obnoxious because if you stay with a bad lead into Whimsicott, bro, they know you have Azumarill, so that's just not happening. They also baited there, which is terrible. They get to the next attack. I don't know this matchup at the time as well, but you'll see that I won't be able to get to my attack because I don't live another Fairy Wind, so... And that's exactly an attack I need, actually. This discharge won't do that much damage. I bring in Lucario, which also has a terrible matchup here. So I'm gonna go for a resistant Thunder Punch on Charge Stack Purity and hope it's like... Dragonair Goodra on the back, and even then that will be iffy. I can get a farm down here, I guess, on my Azumarill. This is a Moonblast. Look at this. Goodbye, Lucario. Has no bulk. Gonna try and bubble down some Polion's game over. Maybe it was double steal in the nap play, but I doubt it. In the final game of this set, the Dedenne into Shadow Flygon. I already told you how this is kind of gonna go. The only way you might be able to win this is if you call a Dragon Claw, but I reckon that even the Mud should add up too much here. I'm gonna shield this up. This usually they go straight Scorching Stance, so no risk in shooting that. I'm gonna do a bait again. If they call this, it's the worst. It's the worst, the absolute worst. So let's see. Gonna catch now on Azumarill. I reckon they would have Azumarill answers in the back. And I honestly shouldn't be even playing this out. I should just keep my shields for Lucario at that point. Attack drop is unfortunate. Let's see what they come in with. It is Skarmory. This is gonna suck. And I'll tell you why. Because I got debuffed to Hydro Pump with Bubble, won't even knock out, which will give them the opportunity to farm to 2 attacks here. And considering the Den is quite fragile, a Brave Bird might almost knock it out. So you're going to see here, I get to the Hydro Pump. I don't know what happened with them there. Maybe they wanted me to throw. But because the debuff won't knock out, leaves for a nice farm down, but they come out with a full Brave Bird. And I need my Dedenne, or at least the energy of the Dedenne. Alright, I also get the 9 attack. That's just tremendous. It is a Brave Bird. I think it knocks out. It is a Sky attack only though. So I get away there. Flygon with Charge Stack Purity, so what I'm going to do now is a mistake. I probably should have called on Lucario, but I think it would still do like 50%, to be honest. Let's see, Dragon Claw knocks me out. I'm pretty sure there's another Dragon Claw. I'm going to shield up anyway, hoping they're like weak to Lucario in the back, but I don't even know if Lucario wins shield down. Let's see, can I get the farm down? It doesn't matter, there's a room on the back. So, just for science, see how much this Thunder Punch does. And that's how I knew, wow, this actually was very respectable damage you can see here. With some Force Ball, might be able to have some play there. But yeah, I'm just gonna let them knock me out. I don't think it was a very winnable matchup, even if I... just because of the debuff, I think. Because then it could farm up more energy on that Skarmory as well. That's unfortunately from 3-0 to 3-2 with Zoe's team. Then actually very interesting. And I think Azumarill Lucario core is actually extremely good. Or maybe just Azumarill. The next team is from Trainer Ram. This is the OG Lucario user. He got to top 8 at the first NAIC with Lucario. I was there as well. I didn't get as far, unfortunately. But yeah, he did. And it was a cool showcase. Now, a couple of adjustments here that I made. First off, the Azumarill moveset. I have Ice Beam just to throw off people trying to catch attacks from, like, when I lead into Giratina or Flygon, they might try to catch a player off. So I'm going to try to throw them off with Ice Beam. Pull shields very easily, so my backline does better. And then he suggests Lucario as a safe switch. I'm going to use Flygon more as a safe switch here. Not because I don't trust trust him, but I found that most of the time the answer to my backline is Azumarill, and Flygon with Shoots Up does just a little bit better there. I do think that if you can surprise any opponent with a Shadow Ball, Lucario can just clean it up most of the time. Maybe not Azumarill. He also suggests counter. I Force Palm because I didn't want to remove it. Azumarill into Lucario. Tremendous. Let's see how this is going to play out. They swap in Giratina. It's terrible. That's what it is. But I have Ice Beam here, so we can bait. I'm also hoping to try and sneak an attack, but they don't throw their attack at all. I'm going for the Ice Beam. They shield that. Ha! Didn't see that coming. I saved myself 5 whole energy, which will do, well, I guess save me 1 bubble, but I'm gonna need a player off kind of to knock it out anyway. I also should throw my Ice Beam there maybe. Now they throw an alignment, so that's fine. I gotta sneak another bubble in, but I have to throw pretty soon because otherwise they get to another attack. Gonna go for the player off now. At this point, this Giratina is about to be, or it already is, in Dragon Claw range for my Shadow Flygon. So I'm gonna let's go take shield advantage, and that should be fine for my Lucario in the back as well. Let's see, Flygon comes in. Let's see what they try. They try to catch here, unsuccessfully, but there is the Azumarill. What do I do with my Lucario? This is no bueno, but you'll see Shadow Flygon does a little bit better in this matchup. If you don't have a Shadow Flygon, Scorching, you might want to consider what's called Sand Attack, because it's a fast attack, does a little bit more damage and puts a little bit more pressure on Azumarill when you have shields up. Although you do charge slower, so there's that. But you still outpace Azumarill. They go for player off. Again, most Azumarill don't have Ice Beam. And because of that, I get the entire farm down here. Both Pokemon of his are going to get knocked out here. Charge Attack Purity on this Giratina. I need this to knock out. And it does. In the back is Lucario with Force Palm, which does a lot of damage, but I can hang on just barely. Scorching Sands will knock out this Lucario. And yeah, that's a great Lucario showcase. Game number 2, we have Azumarill lead into Flygon. This is fine. But they can make this very annoying. There's thing in that tells me they're going to try to catch a potential player off. But I don't have player off. So we're going to go for an Ice Beam. The unexpected attack here, which will grant me that shield advantage very soon in this battle already. And I like that because my backline relies on shields. If they have their own Azumarill, I don't really want to use any shields here. I should barely hang on to my next to this next Scorching Sands and be able to get to an Ice Beam. But again, they might try to catch here because it's so predictable. Let's see, I barely hang on. Because I have Ice Beam, I should be able to get to that attack, but they try to catch, and this is awkward because I don't have an Azumarill answer either. So gonna go into Shadow Flygon to answer this, I guess, which is not optimal, but it's something. I don't have Thunder Punch on my Lucario, so it doesn't want to really see this, and look, that Flygon is still a little bit too healthy for my liking. Let's see. I hang on, shield that player off. Now gonna go for another Scorching Sands. I hope I can either get a farm down here, hopefully without shielding, but I don't think so actually. Yeah, they get to that attack. I could have thrown there, but if they get like a farm down on their own Lucario, I would lose. So I'm gonna farm down with my own Lucario here. 2 Force Palms is a nice energy advantage. And then let's see what comes in here. It's the Flygon again. Again, the Flygon keep Dragon Clawing me, but I will shield it anyway, I guess. Can I get the full farm down? I get the full farm down. Beautiful. I have a lot of energy. What do they have in the back? It's a Tapu Fini. I'm gonna go for a Shadow Ball. This is where I wish I had Thunder Punch. I believe we've seen this team before as well. Does a lot of damage. But I make a mistake here. I should have thrown Power Punch already, because then they would have been in 1 Force Palm / bubble range. And now that's a little bit of an anticlimax. I could have pulled a shield, didn't pull it, and yeah, good game. Game number 3, Azumarill into Azumarill. This is kind of perfect, right? Because my backline doesn't want to see this. But if they have like a Giratina in the back, which is very possible, Giratina plus Azumarill is like the strongest score in his meta, then I may be a little bit in trouble. So I'm kind of just farming, hoping they will try to catch. But I'm not exactly sure when I want to swap here, or if I even want to swap here. Just gonna go for a player of mirror so far. This is okay now to grab a coffee, because these matchups usually don't. Luckily, it's not like a Licta mirror, but they try to catch, and perfect! Now I can bring in my Lucario. I'm not too sure what to bring in here, though. Like, both my Pokemon have to use a shield, right? So it's gonna go into Lucario. Hopefully I can farm down to come out with an attack. Again, I'm missing Thunder Punch here. It's kind of unfortunate. Gonna shield this up. Zap Cannon. Does it debuff? It doesn't actually. And that means I get less farms, so there's that. Maybe one more Force Palm that would have led me to a Shadow Ball here. I don't accept this. I do not accept this. I will shield this up. I will put 2 shields on my Lucario to give you guys a Lucario showcase. So we double shield. Go for the Shadow Ball. This is boosted, by the way. My opponent maybe forgot that, so that does a lot of damage. In the back is their own Lucario. I'm just gonna throw force balls and almost knock him out already, and then the bubble should knock him out, so that is a good game. Shielding Lucario, worth it. Next battle, Azumarill to Flygon. There were a lot of Flygon leads this day, and again, they're staying in, which is annoying, so let's see what they're gonna do. I'm gonna throw the Scourging Sense. You'll never know with people if they know if I have Ice Beam or not. Let's see if they try to catch here. You get a debuff, unfortunate. I'm actually gonna throw immediately here because they are probably going to try and catch on the next one, which I don't want. So I'll pull the shield immediately. I will still be able to get to my next Ice Beam regardless. So they throw the next Scourging Sense. I'm still not shielding. I'm really hoping it's not a Azumarill again. Let's see. They try to catch on Empoleon. I swap very quickly into my Lucario. This is a shield and farm down, like, easily. Very easily. I will have a lot of energy for what comes in next. This is looking very good for me right now. If they come back in with Azumarill, I have a... Or sorry, if they have an Azumarill, I will hit them with the Shadow Ball. Let's see what they come in with. They do have Azumarill. It's basically... It's like Moss League and Dialga. If you don't see Azumarill... if you haven't seen Azumarill yet, just assume it's in the back. Shadow Ball does a lot of damage. I should be pretty okay here. Gonna go for another one on Charge Attack Purity. This means I won the game. I believe I have an Ice Beam stored, or I'm very close to it. So my Flygon should be able to clean up. They have an energy advantage, but I only need to get to one Charge Attack. So let's see. Player off is going to knock me out. We both swap here. They're a little bit faster. But again, only need to hit one Dragon Claw to pull the shield, then Ice Beam. So I'm fine. Want to get a little bit of energy advantage in on that as well. Let's see. Might not be necessary, but just in case, I would like... I don't know. I mean, if I catch a Mucho then faint to that, I lose anyway, right? So maybe that didn't matter. Ice Beam knocks it out, and then they have their own Azumarill. Because I built up some more energy, I should be able to have base here. They only got like one bubble anyway, so... Good game. We win. Lucario good. I must say, most cases where I've used Shadow Ball, Thunder Punch would have been just as good, to be honest. This is not the same battle. Nope. It's the ABA Dragon. Really Tough does not exist. And, oh, shocker, we have Ice Beam. Look at this. This is beautiful. Like when a plan comes together. You run Ice Beam specifically for this kind of stuff, right? Because people always expect to play rough. And it's just not a play rough. It's not. Anyway, Shadow Ball. My backline's not exactly weak to Flygon. I'm actually going to go for Ice Beam immediately. Otherwise, they can throw their Shadow Ball and I will have to shield. Now I don't have to shield. I just put this Pokemon very low. It's going to be looking quite good at this point. I can just mud-shot this down. I don't like them farming up more energy, but what do? I'm around the 2900 elo, so people know how to play. They boost, which sucks, because I think I'm not able to mud-shot down now. In fact, I even get denied a mud-shot there, so that sucks. Gonna try to get a mud-shot down. Hopefully they don't get to an attack. They don't. Perfect. And I come out with a Scourge Sense. This game is a little bit laggy. Going for the first Dragon Claw here. This will put the Flygon extremely low. They have a Dragon Claw now as well, so I'm going to swap Lucario and catch that. Force One will knock this out, so their Flygon is gone. And then it comes down to what they have in the back. Let's see. In the back is Empoleon. We just farm this down and we win. GG Trainer. So that was it. Again, if you want to see more of the teams, make sure to check out the graph that I post in the description. Hope you liked the video and see you next one.